Imagine discovering that a rare medical condition runs in your family, one that changes not only your childhood, but also how you parent your own child. For me, hemophilia has been a big part of my life journey in more ways than I could have ever imagined. My name is Jessica Meyer, and I want to share my experience growing up with a brother who had hemophilia and how my son's diagnosis with the same condition brought that experience full circle in ways that I could have never imagined. For those who are not familiar with what hemophilia is, it's a rare bleeding disorder that makes it so your blood does not clot properly. So, having experienced hemophilia both as a sibling and as a mother, um, I've seen firsthand how it affects a family and have learned to navigate the challenges that it brings. Today, I want to talk about my childhood experience with my brother's hemophilia, the grief of losing him before my son's diagnosis, and how I've adjusted to life as a parent of a child with hemophilia. And so we'll start by my childhood and how hemophilia first became a part of my family's story. I grew up in a pretty big family with four brothers and three sisters. But it wasn't until my mom's very last child, my little brother Josh, who had hemophilia. And Josh and I were a year apart. And so growing up, I feel like hemophilia didn't affect me directly. It was our normal. We would go to the emergency room every other night for Josh to get infused until my mom learned to do it at home herself, which was a lot more convenient than having a lot of little kids sitting in the emergency room for hours. Um, but growing up, I really didn't recognize everything that Josh had to go through. I just knew that he was different, and I knew anytime he got injured that he would have to get a shot. And personally, I was just happy that it wasn't me getting a shot. So, fast forward to my early 20s when I found out I was pregnant. That's when hemophilia became a lot more personal in a way that I never anticipated. And my little brother Josh struggled with a drug addiction most of his life. And so when I found out I was pregnant, he reminded me of our family history and told me that if I was a carrier, there was a 50-50 chance that my son could have hemophilia. So just a couple months before I found out I was having a boy, my little brother Josh passed away from a drug overdose. And losing him while pregnant was very devastating. And um, especially knowing that he would never meet Quincy and share his experience with him. And so after finding out that I was having a boy, I got tested and learned I was indeed a carrier. And so grieving Josh's loss and knowing that my baby might have hemophilia was very overwhelming. And so when Quincy was born, he was indeed uh, a hemophiliac. And so right away, it became reality when he got circumcised and his bleeding did not stop. And so it was just the beginning of learning how fragile his body was compared to other children. And one of the scariest moments of my life is when Quincy was 11 months old. He was holding himself up and fell back and hit his head and developed a brain bleed. And uh, quickly I realized something wasn't right. He vomited, his head was swelling, and so uh, just the reality of anything could happen at any moment and that you have to go get medical care was our new reality, and definitely one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. And from then on, limiting his activities like trampolines or contact sports, to educating others about his condition. We've had to adapt every aspect of our lives to keep him safe. And so, my journey with hemophilia started as a sibling, and now as a mother, and each role has taught me something invaluable. And so, in conclusion, growing up with a brother who had hemophilia taught me about resilience and adapting to challenges, and becoming a mother to a son with the same condition brought those lessons to life and shaping me in ways that I never imagined, but also came with feelings of loss. I also felt like I was robbed the joy of just being a new mom and having uh, that experience, but yet um, I felt like I was constantly navigating fears and challenges to ensure Quincy's safety. And so um, I hope sharing my story sheds light on what it's like to face unexpected challenges and to find strength in the people that you love the most. And while hemophilia has brought its share of fear and challenges, it also has given me resilience and purpose. And so, being my own advocate and Quincy's is been my most powerful tool. I live every day to honor my brother Josh's memory and to ensure Quincy grows up knowing that he's never alone. And even through our struggles, I've learned that strength comes from love, and that's what drives me forward. So, thank you for listening.